show. I'm broadcasting live from 864 Martin Luther King Drive, located in downtown Atlanta, Georgia. I'm your host, Vincent Turner, and today we're going to preview 3 teams. 2 from the NFL, the Philadelphia Eagles. From the NFC North, the NFC East. The Atlanta Falcons from the NFC South. And on the college side, the University of Alabama. So sit back and enjoy 100 yards of football today here on YouTube. As we're going to talk football all day long. I'm your host, Vincent Turner. Let's talk some football. Welcome back to 100 Yards of Football today. We broadcasting from 864 Martin Luther King Drive, located in downtown Atlanta. Before we get the show started, we get into our subject matter. I'm going to introduce you to the personalities that are going to be joining me today, myself, Vincent Turner, as we're going to be talking football. So let me get this lineup started. First of all, let me introduce this young man. He's from Philadelphia, PA. Philadelphia Eagles, #1 inside with the Kurt Norris. Now, the second gentleman that's going to be joining us today, he comes from Atlanta, GA. He was born in Marietta, Georgia. Graduated from Kennesaw State. He writes for the Bleacher Report. He covers the Atlanta Falcons and the University of Georgia on the college side. Mr. Brian Jones.
Quarterback, Kennesaw State.
Now, bring it up the rear. They come from the University of Alabama. They was born in Piedmont, Alabama. They're the #1 University of Alabama fans. Troy and Roy Beecham, University of Alabama. We're going to go to a quick break and we're going to be back. The first team we're going to cover is the Philadelphia Eagles. So sit back and enjoy 100 yards of football. We're broadcasting live from Philly Finest Barber Shop. 864 Martin Luther King Drive in Atlanta, Georgia. We'll be back. And welcome back to 100 Yards of Football today as we got our first annual YouTube show. The first team we're going to talk about today is the Philadelphia Eagles from the NFC East. And the first segment we're going to talk about is whether or not the Eagles are going to miss the production of Deshaun Jackson.
Nah, I really don't think he's gonna miss. Well, we may miss his production, but in big games, he didn't show up anyway. So I think I think Chip is really shooting for bigger receivers that get off the line and jump over you and get the ball.
But when you say big games, now remember this. He's a guy that had 82 receptions last year, 1,300 yards. He led y'all in touchdowns. So you better watch what you say because y'all got a committee that's playing
that was his best year. That was his best year in football under Chip. He never had a career like that. I mean, what he did last year. So, but I don't think we're gonna miss him. I really don't. I think we're gonna be even better because our receivers are bigger now, and they got hands. They're 6'4", 6'3", and 6'2".
One player that's really played well has been a young man out of Vanderbilt University, Jordan Matthews.
Jordan Matthews is a 22-year-old kid, recruited out of Madison, Alabama, won the Alabama Miss. But he set the Southeast Conference record for receptions and still holds that record, I think. And also the yards per game record he set and still holds. So he should give Foles good target, along with McLean, who should probably start it, as well as on the other side, Riley Cooper.
But my question is, when you look at the production, you got a Jeremy Macklin who missed all last year with a torn ACL. To me personally, overpaid Riley Cooper because he only had 1 year to give him a deal in offseason, 5 years, $25 million. Now, I like Jordan Matthews. He's been really outstanding in preseason so far. Last week he had 9 receptions, 104 yards. But you cannot tell me today, here on 100 yards of football, y'all gonna miss the production. 1,300 yards, 82 receptions. Somewhere down the road, you're gonna miss Deshaun Jackson.
It's our system. It ain't Deshaun. Deshaun ain't make the team better. Our system make the team better. So you can plug anybody in there, they can do the same thing with the way Chip Kelly runs his offense.
I believe that.
I think so.
Look at Oregon.
Yeah.
They never had no top-notch receiver. Chip Kelly's always #1, #2 on the nation. And scoring. So, I mean, it's really we're going to miss Deshaun, but not the way y'all think we're going to miss him.
Yeah, because of that, the Eagles were really the number one team in the NFL in terms of offense because they were able, they were able to throw the ball to Nick Foles, they were able to run the ball with Sean McCoy, who could be the best running back in the NFL.
But see, exactly. See, that's what I'm talking about right there. See, what most people don't understand, we're a power rushing team. We're not passing the ball all the time like everybody thinks. If you sit down and watch the Eagles game, we run way more than we pass.
Looked pretty impressive last night against Pittsburgh. A pretty good defense. I'm not going to disrespect the Eagles. Also, I'm a Cowboys fan. But I'm not going to disrespect the Eagles. All I'm saying is Deshaun Jackson was a very important part of the football team. Now, Mark Sanchez has looked real well as a backup quarterback in preseason.
I think he's going to do real well to back up Nick Foles. You know, he had 2 good years winning the AFC championship, 2 years with New York before he got injured. And he completed, 7 out of 9 passes that night for 85 yards against Pittsburgh. So I think he'll be a great backup to Nick Foles in case he gets hurt. He got injured and then they laid a lot of blame on him in New York. So he could have proven himself.
I agree.
Now, regardless, to me, the personality of the Philadelphia Eagles, for them to take the next step past the open round or the wild card round, the playoffs going to be their defensive line.
Oh, absolutely, and they changed from a 4-3 to a 3-4 last year, and their defensive end, Fletcher Cox and Terry Thornton, they started off slow at the beginning of the season. They were able to pick things up. They were able to get used to the system. And then their nose tackle, Bernie Logan, who started midway through the season, played well too. And Vinny Curry, who had 4 sacks, he was just a nickel pass rusher. So I mean, even though the defense struggled for the most part overall, their defensive line is really good.
Well, what about the young man? But let's get down to reality. When it came time to rush the pass, they did. The key to me, personally for Philadelphia, is a young man out of Louisville, a Georgia State product, Marcus Smith. Now, he played real well last night against Pittsburgh.
Marcus pretty good, but he's coming along. He still needs some, you can tell he still needs some time to develop and get to know the system a little better. Because the Eagles, that's our focus on our team should be defense. I mean, offense, we can score with anybody. We can play with anybody. We put up enough points to beat anybody. It's just our defense. And I think last year, those guys being young and changing the system, they got a year under their belt. They'll be a lot better this year. I know they're going to be a lot better. They showed it in the Pittsburgh game.
My only question is with the Eagles, and for them to take the next step, follow the blueprint of the Seattle Seahawks. They won with defense. Can I say they scored 43-8 over Denver in the Super Bowl? If the Eagles are going to take that next level, they got to get better defensively. That's just my opinion, because you can score all day.
I agree with you.
And when you look at it, when time came down, they got eliminated by New Orleans. They couldn't stop New Orleans in the playoffs. But what I don't understand, y'all brought on Malcolm Jenkins, who's a safety in New Orleans. Now he's playing with the Eagles. Has that better y'all secondary so far in the preseason?
No question about it. I mean, he's legitimate, he's good. He can play the game, he understands, He understands defense, he understands, he can read quarterbacks. He'll be in the right place at the right time. So he's going to be fine. He's going to be beneficial to the Eagles.
So, our final cheer is with the Philadelphia Eagles prediction. Will they advance past the wild card this season?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Where's the Eagles? Will they advance past the wild card this season?
They're going to be in the playoffs. Yes,
They'll win the NFC East, and I think they have a chance to be in the NFC Championship.
To me personally, if they don't get better defensively, the Eagles are going to be a team that's going to score a lot of points. But when the wild card round come around, they're going to go home. But that's the Philadelphia Eagles. As we go, sir.
You got better.
That concludes our Philadelphia Eagles segment. We're going to be back with the Atlanta Falcons here on 100 Yards of Football, YouTube style. I'm Vincent Turner, joined by Mr. Karen Norris, Philadelphia Eagles Insider, the Beecham Brothers from the University of Alabama, Mr. Brian Jones. We're going to be back and talk about the Atlanta Falcons and the NFC South. We'll be back. Broadcasting live from 864 Martin Luther King Drive, Philly Finest Barbershop, located in downtown Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome back to 100 Yards of Football. We're broadcasting live today on 864 Martin Luther King Drive at the Philly Finest Barbershop. Now we're going to get into the segment about the team from the NFC South, the Atlanta Falcons. And let's talk about the offensive and defensive line.
Well, before even training camp or even mini camp started this season, Mike Smith had one goal for this team. It was to be physical on offense and defensive line. And that's why they drafted Jake Matthews. That's why they brought in John Osmo from Kansas City. That's why they brought in Tyson Jackson from Kansas City on the defensive line. And that's but he also brought in Paul Soliai from Miami. And so far, they've been pretty good for this team. But from a preseason standpoint, it's been a mixed bag. I think they still need to gel together in terms of, communication on offensive line and the defensive line. They're doing well in the run game, but they still don't have that pass rush that they need to be successful. So I think moving forward, the offensive and defensive line for the Falcons will be successful. And I think that'll be the reason why they'll improve this season.
I agree with you on that. I think the Falcons did a lot more work done up front than we anticipated, because really they was real bad last year. It was because of their line. You can't win football if you don't have no offensive or defensive line. And they drafted a rookie, Matthews. He might. What's his name?
Jake Matthews.
Yeah, Jake Matthews. Yeah.
Father Bruce played in the NFL, Hall of Fame.
Right? Yeah. I think that was a good move for them, but the Falcons, they hard to judge. I can't really call them right now because they really just don't have players. They don't have players.
Well, this is why the preseason games tonight against Tennessee is important, because these last two preseason games they struggled. I mean, they have. They struggled both on offense and defense.
Yeah.
Even when they won against Miami, they left some points on the board. They committed too many penalties.
Yeah.
So this game tonight is important because the starters are going to play all throughout the first half and into the third quarter. So it's almost a dress rehearsal for the regular season. They have to play well. Yeah. Not only do they win, they have to show fans they made strides from last season.
Honestly, when you look at the preseason, let's be realistic here. The 2 games, they've been horrible on offense and defensive line. To me, they overpaid for Paul Soliai. They gave him $33 million over 5 years. Tyson Jackson's been what I call quiet. He hasn't did anything. Now, Sam Baker got hurt in the Houston game last week. You got to move Jake Matthews over to left tackle. A lot of question marks there. But it's been proven. If you could protect Matt Ryan, the Falcons could be very successful throughout the NFL season. But you brought up a key point, Mr. Nars. He was sacked 44 times last year and hit 20 times. My question is, what do you want out of tonight's game against Tennessee? Are the offensive line and defensive lines going to get better?
I think they will. As much as they struggled these first 2 preseason games,
and struggle nightly is a real huge
Matt Ryan's only been
word.
sacked once, but they have a lot of work to do in order to get where they want to go. I think moving Jake Matthews to left tackle is not a surprise. They were going to do it anyway. So when Sam Baker got hurt, they just accelerated him to left tackle, and he's going to make his share of mistakes. But I think based on what I've seen when I'm in the training camp, he's going to be the next great offensive lineman for the Falcons. I really do believe that. He comes from a pedigree. He has great footwork. He uses his hands well. I think he's going to be the anchor of the offensive line. As for the defensive line, I think they still have some work to do. I do like Paul Soliai. I do like Tyson Jackson, but they just don't have that pass rusher. You don't know what you're getting out of quarterback. He even said that he's not sure about his foot that he injured last year. He's not confident yet. He's not where he wants to be a couple years ago. So the offensive and defensive lines, they have to be better. I think they will be better, but it's going to be a work in progress.
Let's talk about Matt Ryan. Well, coming season.
Matt Ryan, 7th year out of Boston College, he's ready for a championship. That guy is hungry for a championship here in Atlanta. I think he has the ability to be a top 5 quarterback, and he has the receivers to make that happen. Julio Jones, Roddy White, and Harry Douglas. But last year, their offensive line was weak. He got pressure on just about every play. Actually, he had a 67% passer rate, which, not real good. But if he gets them and stays in that pocket and able to complete passes, he's Falcons should most certainly improve on their 4-12 record.
Let's talk about the man out of Texas A&M. He's the man of the hour, Jake Matthews.
Well, Jake Matthews played left tackle at Texas A&M. In fact, he was drafted background to play left tackle eventually. They were going to move him over. So by Sam Baker getting hurt, moving him over to left tackle with his pedigree, what his daddy, Bruce Matthews. Bruce, he played kind of like a family tradition, and his brother still plays for the Tennessee Titans, and they always just been family of being athletic enough that I think moving him over, there's something to see no different. Matt Ryan made change up a couple plays that, running over left tackle, right tackle, but if he keeps up his good work like he did at Texas A&M, there shouldn't be a problem in my opinion.
I think when you look at the Falcons overall, I can live with Jake Matthews going to left tackle. I think you can bring Lamar Holmes back off the bench playing at right tackle. If they stay stable, the Falcons are going to score points with Julio Jones, Harry Douglas, Ronnie White, the young phenom out of Florida State, Devontae Freeman. But to me personally, for them to take a next step, and I'm a defensive guy, where you gonna get your pass rush?
Yeah.
Somebody has to step up. Was the rookie Prince Shimbo? Because in this league, I'm gonna keep saying this on this show today. The blueprint is the team out there in the Northwest. What's their name? The Seattle Seahawks. They made Richard Sherman a lot of money. Being able to get pressure on the quarterback. But right quick, predictions. The Atlanta Falcons for 2014.
I think they probably go 6-10.
I'm gonna say 10-6.
9-7. Well, no, not 7. They will be good. 10-6.
And the beat writer, Mr. Brian Jones, who covers the Falcons.
We're going to find out a lot about the Falcons in terms of the 2014 season. When they played the New Orleans Saints in the first game of the season, and the following week they played Cincinnati on the road. So those are two playoff teams. If they can go 2-0, they're going to go 10-6. If they go 0-2, they're going to go 6-10.
That concludes our Atlanta Falcons segment. We're going to be back with our final segment. We're going to talk about on the college side, the University of Alabama, on Pinson Turner, 100 yards of football, YouTube style, broadcasting live from 864 Martin Luther King Drive, Philly Finest Barbershop, located at downtown Atlanta. We're going to be back with the University of Alabama 15 national championships.
Roll Tide. Roll Tide. Roll hard. Roll hard.
We're in our final segment. We're going to talk about the #1 college team in all of America. Some people say that the best college program that's ever lived. The University of Alabama, which has 15 national championships. And we're going to talk about that outlook for 2014. Further ado, we're going to start off this segment with two guys who've been Alabama fans since 1966. So I'm going to ask Mr. Troy Beecham, what makes Alabama football so special, sir?
Well, to me, in my view, when I grew up in Alabama, we didn't have a pro team in the state of Alabama, so I might have to choose sides over there, and I had to choose Alabama. And since the football program started in 1892, Barry Bryant and Nick Saban, two recent coaches, has won 15 national championships. 10 AP and UPI polls have ranked them #1. And that's coming from the coaches and the sports writers over the years. Also, you can look at the NFL roster, the number of
Yes,
players
sir.
they turn out character players. They teach over there, they teach the character, especially Barry Bryant. He wanted his guys, and Saban as well, big men, after football. He wanted them to know football may end tomorrow. You got to grow up as a man and after football. And Coach Red again speaks for yourself. Winning again, like Vince said, they won more games in the last 10 years, I think, than any college football game in the FBS.
I'm going to tell you what I think makes Alabama program very special, and I'm going to keep it short and sweet. It's 4 names. Wallace Wade in the 1920s. Frank Thomas in the 1930s. The man with the funny hat, what's his name? Bear Bryant, that's from Fordyce, Arkansas, and Nick Saban. It's prime and simple. That's why y'all sitting here with 15 national championships. I know we might not have a lot of Alabama fans. I'm from the state of Tennessee, but I'm going to keep it real. That's why the tide is rolling. Let's talk about the quarterback competition for 2014. Who's going to be the starting quarterback? Since we're in the Georgia area, and we're in Georgia territory right now, Blake Sims, a young man from Gainesville, Georgia, will he be the first guy to start out the season for Alabama?
Absolutely. In my opinion, Blake Sims has learned it. He's been there since going on 5 years, since the latter part of 2009. He's competed with Greg McElroy, A.J. McCarron, and hadn't said a word about leaving, getting mad, speaking his mind about not liking the system, and done pretty good. I mean, his pass rating was like 128 to 105, I think, over here. So when he's got to play, he's done a job. at this point, Saban don't even know who's going to win. They battled through the spring and fall practice, and he's held his own. Until the Florida game, maybe, I'd say Blake Saban starting at least against West Virginia Mountaineers, just because he's given that work ethic and hasn't given up and run down the program, and that's what I think he'll start.
Let's talk about the skill players for the University of Alabama. One guy who I think is going to be the best wide receiver out of the country. His name is Amari Cooper. Comes out of Northwest High School, Alabama, a powerhouse. Same high school as one Mr. Teddy Bridgewater. What you think about Amari Cooper this year?
I think he'll do fine in Nick Saban's system, but I don't understand how Alabama players never turn over the controls. They don't ever be real good. I think he's more Nick than the player. You know, I mean, he gets the best out of it as players for his system. So, but I like the wide receivers they got, but I'm not really convinced that they're gonna.
Right, but I don't understand what you're saying. Skill players, probably. I know you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan, and you keep up with the Eagles, and you love them. I got a great running back on the Sean McCoy. But how can you say that, Mr. Eagle fan, when Eddie Lacy was a monster for Green Bay, Rookie of the Year? Where did he come from?
Championships, you got to name one person.
University of Alabama, all the time.
I mean, they got all the championships they got, man. I think Georgia can put out better players than the pros than Alabama do. I mean, I'm serious. I really think they do. So I don't understand why Georgia have won the national championship yet. And that got to do with coaching. That's like Nick Saban. I think Nick Saban get the best out of his players that anybody can get. You know what I mean? He run a good programs and everything. So really, I know when you talk about Alabama, you know they're gonna be successful, man. I don't care who they got a wide receiver. They can put you out there, and they still gonna be good. Because of the system and coaching and their tradition, you know, they do a lot. I mean, they speak for itself. They got 15 national champions. 15. Come on, man. Ain't nobody coming close to that.
Alabama.
Well, I think when you look at Alabama, this money because all the experts that are coming out with their predictions, and Kurt actually recently said that Alabama will be one of the bottom four teams in the college football playoff. But it's funny because Auburn is defending SEC champions, and they were really one play away from winning the national title, and then they're getting very little talk, and they have a chance to be better than what they were last year. Now, granted, they lost to Corey, Greg Robinson, Trey Mason, of course, but they still have Nick Marshall, who could be the best quarterback in the SEC. I mean, he needs to be more consistent in terms of being a pocket passer. He can just run with the ball, and he's going to be able to lead that offense, and they're going to score a lot of points. And when it comes to the rest of the SEC West, we look at LSU and kind of struggled last year, but they were young on defense. They have 7 returning starters coming back, and they're going to be a lot better. The only question with them is Brandon Harris or Anthony Jennings from Marion High School who's going to start. He hasn't made a decision. Les Miles hasn't made a decision. He's going to make a decision Thursday. But whoever starts, both quarterbacks are going to play. So watch out for LSU to be a favorite in the SEC West. And look out for the 2 teams in Mississippi. Ole Miss is going to play Boise State on Thursday. So all the college football world's going to get a look at them. And then Mississippi State. Dan Mullen's done a great job turning that program around. Both Ole Miss and Mississippi State's defense are going to be extraordinary. So Alabama's going to have a handful with them. And then you look at Texas A&M. You know, they lost Johnny Manziel. They're going to have a new quarterback there. But their defense is going to struggle. They struggled last year. They're going to have growing pains this year. And then you have Arkansas, who will probably be the last place in the SEC West, but they probably have one of the top rushing backs in the country led by Alex Collins. So the SEC West is going to be very competitive. Alabama's going to have their hands full with every team they face. But at the same time, I do think Alabama will have just enough to win the SEC West and probably the SEC.
Prediction on Alabama for 2014.
Go way out on the limb.
You gonna go way out of the limb?
They gonna play Georgia right here in the city.
And the prediction. Remember that we in the barbershop, we over here in Georgia country.
I understand this. I'm in Lookout. I'm going to say they're going to age out. That's what they're going to get.
Prediction Alabama 2014.
I'm going to say they're going to play Oklahoma in the Rose Bowl and win and be the national championship.
Alabama 2014.
national championship. There ain't nothing else to say. It's Alabama.
Alabama 2014.
I think the Falcons won. Their loss would be in the SEC championship.
And I'm gonna say this. I agree with the panel. I think it's gonna be Alabama's year. I think they got too much talent. I think they're gonna win it all this season. We're gonna be back to conclude the show. That's been an Alabama segment. We're gonna wrap up and have our final words today on 100 Yards of Football on YouTube. We're broadcasting live from 864 Martin Luther King Drive here at the Philly Finest Barbershop located in downtown Atlanta. We're gonna be back with our final words on 100 Yards of Football here on YouTube. Okay, we're back. 100 Yards of Football. I've been broadcasting live from 864 Martin Luther King Drive, located here at the Philly Finest Barbershop in downtown Atlanta. I'm Vincent Turner. We're going to have the final words today on 100 Yards of Football, about the football season, about the teams. We talked about the Eagles today, Philadelphia. We talked about the Atlanta Falcons and the University of Alabama. So I'm going to let my crew, my personalities on 100 Yards of Football give me their final words of what's going to happen in 2014 with their teams.
We've talked a lot about the Falcons, how they struggled these first two preseason games, but fans, don't worry. Don't take too much into the preseason. Mike Smith has just been evaluating this team because they have 90 players on the roster. He's just trying to evaluate as much as he can. Once the regular season starts, it's going to cut down to 53 players, and those 53 are going to be the best players they have, and I think the Falcons are going to have a great season. If they can stay healthy, which they didn't do last year, they have a chance to win 10, possibly 11 games. They do have to get better defensively. They need to rush the passer. They need to get better against the run. They need to protect Matt Ryan. I think they can do all of these things. If they're able to do that, they're going to have a great season, and I think Falcon fans will enjoy the 2014 year.
I think the Eagles gonna have a great year this year. We had some hiccups on defense last year, but I think we improved the defense over the summer. And I really think the Eagles probably go 12-4, 11-5, win the NFC East, and go on to win a playoff game. Hopefully, we'll go to the Super Bowl, but I don't know about that right now. But I really think the Eagles are going to be successful this year. Chip Kelly is genius. That's it. Final word.
University of Alabama will go. I'm thinking they'll probably go 12-0 regular season. They'll meet Georgia in the Dome. There they'll go into the 14 playoff, which right now may be UCLA, Oklahoma, even and Florida State University. And I think they're going to be champions again. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that or even don't believe that, but that's the kind of way I'm going to go.
I agree.
Roy?
Oh, I think Alabama's going to go undefeated, and we really won't know what kind of team they have until the game with Florida in Tuscaloosa, and we'll really find out about the quarterback situation at that point. And that depends on a lot on how we do through the year. I predict we'll go 12-0, but you never know. It's going to be how poker turns out through the year after he wins the job after the fourth game. That's my last word.
The final word on 100 Yards of Football, I'm going to give you my observations. With the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC East, they're going to win the NFC East this year. I think with the acquisition of Marcus Smith, what he took in the first round out of Louisville, there's a possibility they'll advance into the playoff round. As far as them getting to the Super Bowl, I just don't know. But the Philadelphia Eagles will win the NFC East. As far as the Atlanta Falcons, I'm a defensive guy. It's all about defense. If the Falcons improve just a little bit on defense, they can win the NFC South, and they could be a mainstay when the playoffs start in January. As far as the University of Alabama on the college side, it's one question. I'm going to say Roll Tide. National champions 2014. We have had a great show. God bless. Be looking for us. 100 Yards of Football on YouTube. I'm Vincent Turner. Joining me by Kurt Norris, Philadelphia Eagles Insider, Mr. Brian Jones, the Atlanta Falcons Insider, Bleacher Report, and the brothers from Piedmont, Alabama, Troy and Roy Beecham. We'll see you next time here on YouTube. 100 Yards of Football. Oh, special thanks to Philly Finest Barbershop, located at 864 Martin Luther King Drive in downtown Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you all the people who watched this day, and I'd like them to give their final claps. They're going to take us home.